Hi, I'm Vishwakarma. Generative AI has started to pour in a lot of interest. AI will complement humans, generative AI, machine learning, and product development that addresses cost, efficiency, scale, keeping in mind that it is completely secured. People, technology, and the learning and development, and the lack of the whole workforce itself. There is a trilemma of AI that everybody is trying to solve. It has to be human intelligence to the power of AI. Hi, I'm Vishwakarma. I'm part of New Summit's AI and engineering practice. I bring tons of experience, or at least 2 decades of experience, into orchestrating outcomes using AI, generative AI, machine learning, and product development. This is an initiative by New Summit where we bring in the effort, the expertise, and the know-how of how we have applied AI and generative AI to change and orchestrate positive outcomes for businesses. I am Vishwakarma, having worked with Volkswagen, automotive, healthcare, insurance, government, and more. I would try and bring this entire knowledge distilled in about 3 episodes. Generative AI has started to pour in a lot of interest. We're already seeing some of the advents where DeepSeek just proved that the hype is real and there is clear value of how generative AI can be quantized into smaller infrastructure and uses. The whole idea of using generative AI has now taken mainstream with typical use cases ranging from processes that involve a lot of documents, where AI decisions can be taken with ease, where repeatability and reusability is a very, very clear sign. So for sure, generative AI is now in mainstream. Organizations are already moving upwards and onwards with it. McKinsey, for that matter, quote that 6.3 trillion of impact would be alone seen by AI. So for sure, you're in for a ride where Gen AI is going to make changes. So let me try and help you to answer that question and also address what industry is already struggling with. So there is a trilemma of AI that everybody is trying to solve, and let me try and emphasize on that in a very simple way. So what everybody is trying to solve is, how do I ensure that the cost is minimal of what we are trying to achieve by using AI or Gen AI? Next, how do I ensure that my solutions are efficient? That means that it works as expected as per the value and business outcomes we have endeared it to be. And the third and the most important is, how do I scale my solution now that I have already created, but how do I replicate it across businesses and my entire infrastructure? This is exactly the problem that everybody is struggling with, but there is a hindsight to this, which is my 4th block, which is all about security. For organizations like BFSI, capital markets, AMCs, security play a huge role, and this is what we are trying to solve, and we will try and emphasize how we have solved these for different organizations that we work with. The biggest mistake that organizations make when choosing an AI use case is not defining the problem statement properly. When I say the problem statement, I mean, did you break the problem into chunks and sizes that you can fathom, and make it explicitly clear of how do you want to introduce AI into the solution? There could be a problem that you could pretty much solve with engineering. There could be a problem that might just need a process change. Picking up the right AI use case requires a lot of understanding of your own business problems and challenges. And of course, once you have picked up that AI use case, you go back to the drawing board and try and break that problem in a way that addresses cost, efficiency, scale, keeping in mind that it is completely secured. Every industry is at a different phase of their AI adoption, like their own maturity as well. In terms of the adoption themselves, healthcare is at a completely different level of AI adoption, whereas BFSIs are a bit risk aversive, where they are still testing the cases where AI can bring them positive outcomes. Similarly, for governments, they are also adopting, except for India itself, we have already adopted AI as part of Aadhaar. You already have a very good public infrastructure. In terms of adoption, again, it completely depends upon what's your risk appetite and which processes can you identify to then take and adapt it with AI. I'll give you an example where, say for example, in terms of BFSI sector, they have taken, I would say, a very calculated step to go ahead and implement or use AI for their back office operations. And by that I mean, imagine their finance transformation. Regular mundane tasks which are repeatable, reusable, anybody can do. Can AI as an agent replace that entire workforce or that task by repeating the same work or steps and achieve high degree of accuracy? The answer is yes. Similarly, for healthcare, we see now AI being used for a lot of drug discoveries, security parameters of drug discoveries themselves, and for that matter, organizations that I have worked for, we also developed world's first AI-generated fragrance. That's all chemistry, but powered by AI. Anybody or any person or human, when to the power AI, goes to show how I can impact and create a difference in my own organization. Having said this, in my next episodes, we will dive deep into BFSI sector, address some of those typical use cases that we have worked and delivered for our organizations and customers alike with positive outcomes, and addressing all these three challenges of cost, efficiency, scale by completely being secure. Thank you.